up in the streets of all major cities of Israel, and the common wisdom was, well, there's no partner, we're never going to speak to them, and they're all terrorists. The second Intifada is long gone. There's very little, if any, terrorism today, and today, unfortunately, the word on the street is we don't have to talk to anybody because there's no problem. That is something that is a problem of public opinion in Israel. There's no doubt that Israel has, without doing any proactive steps, has become a much stronger player in the region in the past 3 years. And I completely agree that from a point of view of strength, when your risks are lower, is the time to be proactive. Netanyahu has, he is in a very fortunate position where he actually has an alternative coalition that he can bring in tomorrow into the government. He has some problems within the Likud, but he definitely has an overwhelming support majority in the Israeli parliament. He can get out Naftali Bennett, bring in Sheli Yaakov. He can have Meretz support from the outside. Yesh Atid are definitely going to support a two-state solution. So from a political point of view, he can do it. There's no question about it. The main question is, does he want to do it? That is the big $20,000 or $60,000 or $60 million question. And here, it is very difficult to really know what Netanyahu is thinking. I heard Martin Indyk was at the J Street conference just last week. He said 4 things. 2 of them are not really a big surprise, and they don't say anything. He said all the core issues are on the table. Okay, so they're on the table. Great. He said that final status is what is being discussed. Discussions. He said that the parties are ready to intensify the talks. And he said that the United States has been invited by Israel mainly to be more intensely involved in the talks. That is, I think, a positive development. Right now, nothing is coming out, or very little. One barometer that we should all be noticing is the anxiety of the right. The religious right, the secular right, when we see more activities, when we see campaigns starting to hit the street, that from the right, that's when we know that probably something is developing. I have to say that I don't see how the Israeli Prime Minister can agree to pulling out. This I have a bit of a criticism of the Israeli left belittling pulling out 125,000 settlers at the minimum. Gaza was 8,000, 125,000. That's about 30,000 homes. At the very least, we should the Israeli peace camp should show some respect and not belittle pulling out so many houses, which were put in the West Bank, just to remind us, by left-wing governments as well, and not only by the right. Or the Palestinian President, Mahmoud Abbas, who I agree his commitment to peace is unquestionable, and he has been consistently saying that there's not going to be a violent uprising, and there has not been a violent uprising. If I was a cynic, I would say to the dismay of the Israeli government, but I won't be cynical here. Without some sort of success or accomplishment on the issue of the refugees. The refugees are a very important issue for the Palestinians. Right now, without any recognition of even partial responsibility, because I don't think that Israel has a full responsibility for the refugee issue, but I don't think that Israel has no responsibility for the refugee issue. That issue is not going to be to reach any type of closure without some sort of act of recognition by the Israeli side, and I don't know how. I see it very difficult for Abu Mazen to reach an agreement, and we can have a situation. And let's just say the agreement is not the goal. Yeah, a sustainable peace is the goal. an agreement is 1% of the efforts. Right now it seems like 10,000% of the effort, but the effort is going to be to build a sustainable peace after the two parties sign the agreement. So, we have to make sure that the right ingredients, that the right steps are taken by both sides in order to be the foundation for the building of a sustainable peace. And, another word of self-criticism on my camp is, unfortunately, Israeli left has always spoken about Switzerland of the Middle East, Singapore of the Middle East, never being part of the Middle East. And that is something that I think for us to become sustainable, for us to reach a sustainable peace, we have to talk about becoming part of the Middle East. And I'll finish on a bit of a positive note. This is something that I don't know how many people of you are aware. Arab culture is taking a very interesting foothold in Israeli popular culture today. We have a very, very successful sitcom program called Arab Labor. 50% of it is in Arabic, prime time, Channel 2 television. Okay, 50% is unheard of. 5 years ago, nobody would have believed it. My neighbor is actually the hero of the show, and he's saying that when he goes to Nazareth, to Arab villages, it's like he's even almost more of a star, but he's a big star in the Jewish community as well. Two recent reality shows, we had Israeli-Palestinian Arab women win first prize, and these are shows that Israelis send text messages in order to vote for and make a lot of money for the television companies, but that, Nasrin Kadri and Lina Mahul both won. Israeli bands are coming out with rock bands and hip-hop bands are coming out with Arab texts and Arab songs that they are singing. So, from that point of view, and of course the tremendous success of what is called Eastern music, or that has conquered the mainstream of Israel, which is based on Arab tunes and Arab music. So, I think that there is room for optimism. I think that there is an understanding, at least on from Netanyahu's perspective, that he cannot not do anything. It was enough that in his second term he did absolutely nothing. If we do agree that Iran is not an option for him, then and if we also think that he wants to be prime minister for the fourth time, which is hard to imagine, but it's not hard to imagine that he wants, it's hard to imagine that reality, then he has to come with some, I think, I hope, he has to come with some sort of success, and reaching a settlement of this historic conflict is the type of Churchillian success that Bibi Netanyahu likes to talk about. So we can be a bit hopeful there as well.
Thank you very much, Dan.